Hi, this is Charlie giving you Fry's live trading. Well, hopefully anyway, because I'm not seeing too much here at the moment. It's just about 7:45 in the morning. We've got some news coming out at 10 a.m. In the Eurozone with their flash inflation, so CPI, sorry. So I might just hold off until we get that news out and see how it's moving then. There's some movement going on, pounds moving just off screen, but nothing in alignment with all of my things I look for. So I think I'll just hold off for now and probably wait until, like I say, around about 10 a.m. and see if I can get something then. I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back, and as we can see, it's now 20 past 8, and we see we did have a bit of a rundown on the euro, but I didn't have any setups to take it short, so therefore I didn't have anything there to short it with. But it's come down to some multiple supports. It's come down to a daily S2 pivot, and it's come down to my lower bands on the daily charts. If I take us out to the daily charts, it probably won't look the same. Oh yeah, more or less. Daily charts is always slightly different to e-signal that I'm seeing off screen. But yeah, as you can see, we're down to the lower bands as well. It's hit on e-signal. And so I'm looking at, well, we're coming back into the bands. Now, the thing is really, when price gets up to the upper band, it should then want to roll back over again. But at the same time, I'm seeing lots of support down here. So I'm going to actually look to get long, just put a tight stop on it. I'll only go in with 2 units because it's a higher risk strategy here at this point this morning. So I'll put a very tight stop on it, just put the stop below the low and just put 2 units in. So and then we'll just see. So it is definitely a higher risk given this one I go. But what I'm waiting for first of all is for us to close inside the bands here, which will happen in the next minute. And then just a slight dip, and if I get that little dip back down to the lower band, then I'll go in with obviously a tight stop down at the low. So it'll only be like a less than 10 pip stop, but because it's a higher risk strategy, I'll only put 2 units in anyway. And then if that fails, which I'm assuming it probably will, it's the higher risk of failing. But if it doesn't fail, so why take it then? If it's a higher risk of failing, well, if it doesn't fail, then there could be a half decent move on that. So and that's why. So I'll just let it run and run if it didn't fail. So we shall see. But at the moment, I'm just waiting to see. Here we go. So we're just inside the bands now. There we go. It's the dip. So I'll get 2 units in. There we go. And I'll just get the stops put in place down here. So let's quickly do those. So stops at about 27. No, sorry, 28 on 24, 28 on 24, 28. So nice and tight on 24, 28 on those 2 units. Okay, so I've got those two in. I suspect we're going to come up to the upper band first anyway, but it's from there that it should then react and probably then roll over. But it's a case of whether it fails to roll over. That's the point. So I expect it to get up to there, then come back down. It's a case of whether it fails to come back down from there. So we'll see. So I'll press pause for now, and we'll come back to it. Okay, just back, and as you can see, it's exactly what it's done. I've been up having a shave while that was working out. When I do these videos, I think people probably think I'm sitting here most of the time, but I'm not. I put trades on and I go off and going off and getting ready and all that. But anyway, so it's come up to those bands exactly as I said, and it's reacting from them exactly as I said. So it's a case of whether it's going to hold. One thing is there's the potential for a divergence down here. I'm looking at the RSI off screen, so it could want to come all the way down to this low actually and put in like a little double bottom, maybe make a marginal new low. So I've moved my stop just to cut 2 pips below this low, which is still very, very tight. And just in case, because of the way the RSI is set up, it's always a potential there that it may want to come down and do that actual double bottom. But otherwise, and it's, if it comes down, stops me out, and then comes back up into the bands again, then I'll probably give it another go actually if it were to do that. So, but for now, we'll leave this and just see what's going to happen for now. If it was to just start coming up from here, then there's nothing for me to do with it. I'll just leave it. Well, just tuck the stop up and we'll address it later. But I'd probably just leave it. We've hit some key support on the daily charts, so I'd probably just leave it if that was the case. But I suspect it's not going to make it that easy. So I'm sure there's going to be more to play out yet on this. So I'll press pause for now and go make my omelette. Now the euros, as we can see, just come up here. So it's had a nice little run actually since here, and it's actually come up to its 8 a.m. pivot. So it could just find resistance here and then want to roll all the way over, because on the hourly chart it's overall in a sort of downwards trend on the hourly chart. So it may want to roll over, but like I said earlier on, that's not what we've hit some fairly decent support on the higher time frames, on up to the daily charts. So I'm just going to see if, nothing runs in a straight line, so I'm just going to see if this can hold, if it doesn't roll all the way over, and if gradually it can go higher. Like I said earlier on, this was a higher risk trade of getting stopped out, but I could probably move my stop up a couple of pips, but the stop was so low anyway from where I got in at 33, and the stop's at 26, so it's such a small stop anyway. I can probably move the stop a little bit now because that divergence is out of the way, so to speak, for now. So I'll move it up a couple of pips, and we can sit on this and say, oh, we're up £150 as we currently are, as I'm seeing off screen. But if I'm going in with a smaller stake, like I did, a higher risk, so initial strategy there, like I said, I want to see if I can get more out of the trade. So, like I said, this one's, and we've got the CPI coming out, figures coming out at 10 a.m. So they could completely scupper it, and we could completely flush down. But like I said, for the risk that's involved, I'll lose a few pounds, so to speak. I'll lose a few pips on that, and I'd rather just carry on with the trade and just see if it can have a bit of a more of an upside run. So that's how I'm approaching that. So anyway, so I'll press pause for now. Okay, so the euro's moving up quite nicely here. It's 9:15 now. So I think I will move my stop up to about 30 now, 31. So I'll have about literally a 2-pip stop. So I'll just do that. I'm doing all this off screen because there's no point in just showing you changing the stops. But well, actually, I'll do it. Here's a stop currently on the first one. Move that to 30. And remember, we were in at 33.6. So it's just over a 3-pip stop now. Considering it's come up so far. Obviously this could all change and this could all plummet down when the CPI figures come out later at 3/4 an hour, but I might as well move the stop up to 30 now. If it's going to come all the way down to there, and I expect it to probably break anyway. So anyway, I shall leave that with you. We'll come back to this at 10. Okay, just back. So it's just gone 10 o'clock and the news is out. So I was a little bit late, I was caught up. The news is just out, so it's just gone 10 a.m. It's 1 or 2 minutes past here, and the euro's not gone lower on the CPI figures, which we would have thought the euro would have done. I'm just looking off screen to see what the figures came in at. The expectations were for 0.3. Let's have a quick look and see what it's actually come in at. Yeah, it's come in at 0.3. So they've basically bought the facts, so to speak. Sold the rumour this morning by the looks of things. So if we go to the hourly chart, we were selling off this morning on the hourlies here, but so far we've bought the fact. So the trade is still running. It came down a little bit, but my stop was at 30, as we've seen. And it's like I said, the only thing is that I don't know what to do with this trade. Like I said, keep it running really. If the euro is going to hold up here, what I would do now is I will move it to the stops to break even. So let's do that. Let's bring the tickets across and move these stops up to break even. So I'll move them up to 34, which will stop me out at 33. Hopefully that's not too aggressive, but I think it's worthwhile. We might as well bring them to break even now, and we'll see what's going to happen. So let's bring that up. That one up as well. So we've got a daily pivot right up at 124.84. So it's another 30 points beyond where we currently are, and that would be 50 pips on my trade. So I tell you what, actually we've got an hourly 50 as well. So let's come out to this. So we're looking at some targets now. We've got an hourly 50 up here, up at 124.80, let's call it, and we've got the daily pivot's at 84, so just a little bit above that. So I'll make you a deal. If we get up to there, then I'll take half off. Actually, I'm going to be heading down the gym, so just in case it was to get up there whilst I was down the gym, let's put a limit order in to automatically take that out. 124.80, okay, 124.80. 80. That would give me the best part of 50 pips for my entry, just under 47 pips or so. So yeah, okay, so let's put that in. Actually, well, the pivot's at 84, so let's actually just put it in at 82. Always put it just a little bit before the actual level, and so we'll close out one there, and then I'll decide if we were to go up, get up to there, to decide what to do with the remainder. Maybe just run it and just trail the stop up. I don't know. So far, can't lose on the trade. It's still got a lot of work to do. In that on the higher time frames it's getting a bit messy. So if we go out to like sort of 30-minute chart, we can see that it's getting a bit messy, and that it just keeps prodding back up into the 21 moving average and the bands. And it's the same on the 15-minute chart as well. So it's got a lot of work, a lot of resistance to get through if it is going to get up there. But we're in with a free ride now. So I'm 11 minutes in, so I better stop talking and see where this is going to go to. I'm going to head down the gym and see what it is when I get back. Right, just back. As you can see, as you can see, the euro's gone up, but actually it's now just 10 to midday, 10 to 12. Been riding that all morning. Now let's just take this back to what's been going on with it. And I think this raises a good point, because look, if we'd have come down, we had this nice run this morning. We're up 20 pips, but best part of 20 pips, just under 17 pips. Then it rolled over. And it was interesting actually, because I had someone ask last week's trading, oh, why didn't you trail your stops up? And I would have had, and if the euro had rolled over and stopped me out, obviously it didn't, because it didn't go that low. My stops, remember, at 30. But if it had rolled over and stopped me out down here this morning, then someone would have said, oh, why didn't you take your profits, or why didn't you trail your stop, and then you'd have had some profits in there. But this is the reason why I don't use trailing stops, because a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, what will happen is the markets don't just move in one line forever, they retrace, and you just get trailing stopped out unnecessarily when there's potentially a bigger move at play. And you'd have just got, you would have missed out on all of that. So I think that's a good example actually this week of why I don't use trading stops, these automated trading stops. The time when I will use them is when we're just getting into the latter part of a phase, and let's say there's a lot of volatility. Then I'll start manually trading them below the lows of each bar, because of now let's bring up the deal tickets actually, so we can see the two deal tickets. Here we are. So that's the first one, and here's the other one from this morning. So as you can see, we're up a significant amount now. We're up nearly $850 at this point, and one of these was going to disappear, isn't it? Well, I've got an order in on one of them at 82. So if we hit 82, then one of these two will disappear. So far so good. It's having a nice run, but it's still got a lot of work to do. All the euro's doing, it's got close to its hourly 50 MA. So let's take this to an hourly chart. It's got close to it, so that's going to provide some resistance. But like I said, there's the daily pivot just above there, so that's what I'm looking for, about 82. But I've only got the order in on one of them, so am I going to close out the other one, or what am I going to do? Maybe I will just close out both of them. So I'll reserve that right, so to speak, if we can get up there. But just as I've come back on, look, it's always the way. I just walked in. I've actually been out shopping, and this is the thing with day trading. People always think it's a misconception. People think you've got to be sat there staring at your charts the whole day, so to speak. And it's not true. I've been down the gym. I put the trades on this morning, then went off and got ready. So I was getting showered, changed, shaved, and everything else. Then I came down, checked it. And then went off down the gym, and then I've checked it again, and then went off and been out shopping. And so you get used to being able to time your trading around doing other things. So I think it's a misconception that people say, oh yeah, if you're day trading, you've got to be stuck to your screens all the time. Now obviously if you've got to be around a part of the time to be able to identify new trades, new setups and things like that. But I think here's a good example of and a lot of the time I'm not actually sitting here the whole morning. I'm always popping out and stuff. So anyway, we're at 14 minutes. Crikey, I better press pause. Okay, it looks like we've got a little divergence coming in on the 5-minute chart. So as we come up, if we can get back up to these little highs, I'm going to have to take one of these off. So I'll be taking one of these two teal tickets off. So just as if we can get back up to these highs here. So looking for 78, 79, and I'll take close one of these positions off. We're very nearly there. Now I've pressed record. It's probably going to linger around, isn't it? There we go. It's lingering around. So looks like I might have to press pause again. Always the way when you press the record button. I'll press pause. Okay, so here it is coming up to that level. So I'm going to take that half off there. So just bank that for 440 bucks, $443. I just got cleared on that one. And the other one, we've still got this order against at 82 up at that daily pivot. So we'll see what happens. So basically, whatever happens now. Actually, I'll hold off for a bit, but I want to get this make this a wrap. We're 15 minutes in. But whatever happens, obviously I'm going to move my stop up. I'll trail my stop up to below here now, to below 50. So whatever happens, we're going to either make whatever it is about about 50 pips on the second half and just below 50 pips on that first half. Remember, I risked about 7 pips initially. So I always say it, but when I go into a trade, I want to ask myself, is it a good deal? Now, I took today's trade because it was a higher risk trade, so I only took the two lots, but I ran them more because I knew that there was that scope for it to go higher, and that comes down to my analysis basically. So we'll see now, just as it's seeing if it's going up here, and this may take it, but we may end up netting around about getting close towards $1,000 today again if this hits. Let's just see if this is going to hit. It's got to hit 82 and you'll see this disappear if that goes beyond 82. And this is it's sitting there. Go on, do it, because we're running out of recording time, and very, very close. But and then I'll show you the overall P&L. But just as I'm talking here, it's just gone. Then here we go. Right, there it goes. It's gone. Right, so we've hit the 2. I'll literally just do a screen grab. I can't show you the whole account because now it's going to fly. I'm just going to take this screenshot so you can see them. There we go. Drag it across. So here was the trade. Remember, got in at 33s, came out 82 and 78. Now look at that, it's gone blasting beyond it. But doesn't matter. So what was that? 400, 800, 880, $920. So what's that? 580 odd pounds. Not a bad little morning. Okay, I shall leave that with you. One trade, and we'll see what happens as we go into next week. Take care for now. Back on Monday.